Hey now, Grizz here. Gonna do a short little video on a new knife that just came in. As you all know, I likes my little mother of pearl gentleman's knives like this one. I believe this is Swizzarmygrizz. Yeah, this is an early German maker, Swizzarmygrizz, Germany. This is a super nice, lovely little knife. Notice the coined or rolled edges on the liners. It's got a beautiful pair of scissors. It's got a crack there. That's a shame, but the fact that the piece is still there makes me happy. And it's got a long nail file. Those are the typical accoutrements of one of these. You know, a pair of scissors, a little blade. In this case, it has an actual tortoiseshell toothpick. Tortoiseshell was like ivory, and tortoiseshell were the plastics before we learned how to make celluloid plastic. We've got a little ear pick here for picking earwax. Very nice. Gold plated for whatever reason, because you have to have a gold-plated ear pick. I wouldn't do it any other way. Probably because back in the day, people used to feel that gold was like sterilized stuff. You know, they thought that by making delicate things out of gold, it was more sanitary or something like that. I don't know. It really makes no sense to me. But yeah, that's your typical little gents knife right there. Here's the one I just picked up, and she's a beauty. This is some of the nicest mother of pearl I've ever seen. Even on camera, it looks great, and in person, it looks even better. It's got so much luster in it. In some of the pictures I take, you can just see like one area will look blue, another will look green. It's just got so much luster, so much fire to it. Absolutely stunning. Of course, it's cracked. Mother of pearl is a terrible material to work with, and certainly not a good material to put on something you want to be durable. But it's beautiful, no doubt. I mean, this is the original pocket jewelry. That phrase gets used a lot with the modern knife guys with their little titanium challenge coins. I don't know what the challenge coins are for. You bought it. It's not like the challenge coins that, you know, somebody earned by being in the Marines, or something like that. I don't know. So I don't get the whole challenge coin thing. But, and they got all their little tokens and worry stones and all those other things. And you hear them called pocket jewelry. But back in the day, this was the original pocket jewelry when you wanted to pull out something ordinary and make a statement about your wealth, that you were a person of the finer things in life. You'd break out a knife like this and clean your fingernails or pick your ear with it or whatever. But anyway, this is a kissing crane by Klaas. And it's a very interesting one, man. It's got this corkscrew. It does not have a long nail file. I believe this is an earlier one. I believe this predates 1920. I think this is in the 1915 to 1920 range, based on some stuff I've seen. I could be completely wrong, frankly. It's not easy finding stuff about this. And when I do, it's in like forums that I am having trouble getting translated because of the stupid, some of the issues with the website compatibility. They just don't translate well. And and I'm not learning another language, not yet, not right now. We've got the nickel silver liners it's just beautiful. Normally they're brass liners and they still got the coin on them. They look like the edge of a dime is what it looks like, because it's the nickel silver. Yeah, it looks very similar to the old silver dimes. It's very cool. On the front, we've got a large nail file with the nail cleaning tip, and these are the nail files too. Some people like these slotted ones because, like, when you're doing this, the nail file keeps slipping off. But on these slotted ones, you can, especially if you're doing the corners, your nail will just ride right in that slot. So that's why, and sometimes you don't even see the crosscut file. Will just have the slotted file. We've got a little clip blade. Isn't that darling? Yeah, I don't think I've seen a clip blade on one of these style knives before. They're just always a little pen blade, but yeah, it's a nice little clip blade. And notice it's got a tang stamp. Rob or Bob. Does it say Bob? Get the hell out of here. Does it say Bob? No, it's Rob. Okay, I knew it's Rob. I'm like, I don't think they would use the informal Bob. I don't even know if Bob was used that long ago. But Robert Klaas, Olig's Zollingen. Olig's, from what I believe is like a town or area in Solig. It would be like the Kensington part of Philadelphia. You know what I mean? And we've got on the back the famous Kissing Cranes, which there goes the train stealing part of my soul, as always. And yeah, these Kissing Cranes, from what I read somewhere that they don't actually have cranes in Germany, and these are actually supposed to represent blue herons or something like that. And but the cranes, Kissing Cranes, just sounded a lot better than Kissing Blue Herons or whatever like that. So they went with calling them cranes. Or they might actually be storks. I forget what it is. Something like that. There's a funny story to those, though. I'll bring you just half of it. Check out this main blade. What an interesting shape. First, I thought it had been tipped and repaired, but no, it's like... What does this look like? It looks like a modern drop point blade is what it looks like. Very interesting. Usually these knives just have a traditional spear point blade like this. I mean, here's another Kissing Cranes, much later one, but very similar. And yeah, I mean, this carbon steel, this is great quality steel. I mean, look how well it's held up. It's not pitted or anything, but it's got a heavy patina. It's even been exposed to like either hard water, some kind of acidic something has been on here, and it hasn't pitted or anything. It's just very high quality steel. Again, we've got the cranes or storks or herons or blue jays, whatever they are on the back. I think they might be pelicans, actually. Fisting pelicans. I believe that's what they really wanted, was fisting pelicans, but then they went with Kissing Cranes because it was more PG. But anyway, yeah, Robert Klaas, Olig's Zollingen. Super cool, man. Love this knife. And while we're got it out, here's another one of my Kissing Cranes. This is one I carry all the time. I love this one. I got this from my friend Dave. Very nice guy. Has great taste in knives. And yeah, again, Robert Klaas, Zollingen, Rostfrei, the Cranes, making out instead of fisting pelicans. Again, we've got the corkscrew. Man, I would never use the corkscrew on one of these. I mean, just the act of pulling a cork torques the whole knife, and no wonder it's cracked. I mean, you notice in your Swiss Army knives, a lot of times the liners are cracked on the corkscrew pin because it's so close to the edge. And here the whole scale's cracked because of that. But again, this has it. Horn's a little more forgiving, so I would probably use this one. Even though, you know, I've shared this one. A mouse or rat or something took a chunk out of that right there. And this one has one of the most beautiful long nail files I've seen. That's why I think it's a later one, because see how it's exposed like that? I mean, the older nail files were inset in the liners like that, rather than being like one of these, you know, exposed awl type. It's very much like the exposed style awl. Very cool. We've got an adorable little pen blade. Look at that tiny little guy. Got a sweet little pair of scissors. This is actually, I use this to open my medication on a daily basis. And this is one of like the nicest little, I love this little long skinny blade. This knife just has a great profile to it. That's what I really like about these knives. Like, they're a nice, you know, most times out around town, I don't need a heavy duty knife. You know, I probably don't need a knife at all, but just knowing I have a knife that can handle, you know, opening some boxes or doing some whittling or something if I feel like doing it is nice to know, you know. But this one especially, this is probably my favorite profile that I found in one of these styles of knives. This Westerbros, I would love to find one of these with either horn or, you know, fiber scales or something like that. But I don't know, they might have just made these luxury ones. I don't know. Sometimes I see them in like guilloche style, the stainless steel scales that just have like patterns scrolled into them. But yeah, those are a little too basic for my needs. And man, I just want to share this one again. I just did a video on this recently. This is my John Primble Belknap hardware knife, made by Boker. It's a Boker 3385. And somebody was talking about made a comment about this. If you saw my short video where my shorts, I hate those short videos. They're 90 seconds. It's like if they were 3 minutes like TikTok, it would be just enough time to actually show something and do something. But 90 seconds is so tight. So what I'm going to do with shorts is if somebody makes a stupid comment, I'm going to post a short about it. But next time I'll remember to screenshot it so they can't just delete it. Because somebody honestly and sincerely suggested to me that I send this knife back to Boker and ask them to put a new can opener on it. That is just silly. So, yeah, if you're understanding why I was making fun of the guy at Boker, I was making fun of the guy that left that comment. And he deleted it. And you know who you are. You know what you did. But it's okay. I love you anyway. But man, I did some cleanup on this. When I showed it in the video, it was as I got it. I did some light sanding on it. And man, just the little bit of color that popped out of it. I love these old bovine bone covers. When they wear down and have that pocket wear and this jigging smooths out, they just feel great. They look cool. I love how the color kind of varies in different spots. I'm really in love with this. I just bought a couple of really cool ones. I sent a few of you pictures of them, and I can't wait to get those. One has an incredible story on it. Like, I got it from the original owner. He's 95 years old. And it's an incredible story. I can't wait to get that knife in my hands. But I also have a Remington Scout knife coming from the early 1920s. I can't wait to get that one in. If you are a Swiss Army knife guy, man, check out some Scout knives. It's kind of like a classed up Swiss Army knife. And I'm just fascinated with these lately. I know it's a little rough looking. If you know me, I like them a little rough looking. I like a knife that looks like it could tell a story if it could talk. And I believe this one has seen some shit. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Swizzarmygrizz is out of here.